We're getting you ready for high school football here at KBZE 105.9 FM. This interview is being brought to you by
the Thibodeau Regional Health System, Taco Bell in Morgan City and Bayou Vista, Vita Paint and Supply, A.J. Doman Chevrolet, and Conrad Industries.
And now,
this is Mark Danos, head football coach of the Morgan City Tigers, and you're listening to 105.9 KBZE.
All right, Coach. Since it's your first season at Morgan City, could you kind of give a little insight to our audience about yourself?
Yes, sir. I'm originally from Racine, Louisiana, graduate of Central Lafourche High School back in 2004. My biggest motivation was my head coach at the time, which was Randy Bro, who, in that area is a local legend. From that time, he actually ended up getting me my first job as a coach at H.L. Bourgeois High School. And before, coming to Morgan City, I was with H.L. Bourgeois for the previous 9 seasons, working in different capacities, offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, so on and so forth.
All right. What attracted you to the Morgan City job?
Well, I've always felt like Morgan City had great athletes to work with. And, it's always been a goal of mine to become a head football coach. And, fortunately for me, the commute from Racine to Morgan City isn't too bad. And so when that opening came about, I looked into it, and when I met with the principal and some of the administration, it really felt like a very, very good fit. It felt very, very natural. So I decided to make the jump.
All right. So from what you've seen from the team last year, because I'm pretty sure you watched film from last year.
Yes, sir.
Could you give us a little recap of how you think last season went?
I think last season went pretty well for them. I think the expectations weren't very high entering the season. I know they had lost their head coach back in the summer when things were just sort of new and fresh, and he was trying to install his own things. And I think for the team to rebound and to get the 3 wins and compete with some of these teams in that district, I think that for the team to go through those hardships of the summer and do everything pretty much on the fly showed that the resiliency that these kids have. And that's another reason that attracted me to the job, is that I'm working with a group of guys that are willing to work, that are willing to put forth a ton of effort, and they want to learn and be competitive. And so, yeah, just looking at it on film, I think they have a good nucleus of young talent as well as veteran talent that we could work with. So I'm very, very excited.
What kind of team should we expect, the Morgan City Tigers to be, both offensively and defensively?
I think offensively we're going to transition to more of a spread system. I know last year it was more of a wing T type offense. I'm of the philosophy that I'd like a defense to have to defend every blade of grass. And so we're going to run some spread, but hey, I love my running back, Michael Wilkerson. I think he's going to give a lot of defenses some problems running that ball up the middle. Defensively, it's going to be similar to what we ran last year, pretty much odd man fronts, and we're going to disguise some coverages and send some guys that offenses aren't expected, and hopefully we could disrupt them a good bit.
All right. Who are some key players we should watch out for this year?
Well, certainly I already mentioned Michael Wilkerson, who's going to be my starting running back. Young kid, he's only 15 years old, but he's already about 6'2", 205. Obviously, Tommy Mancuso is a returning starter at quarterback, and he's in my opinion, one of the better quarterbacks in the area. I think he's poised to have a pretty big season. We just got to work on some things with him and kind of tool some things through. And obviously we have Anthony Bourgeois, who's going to be a 2-way player for us. He'll play a little bit of receiver, but he also will be a defensive back in some capacity. And we definitely have some young linemen coming up. We had led by Jacob Fernandez as a senior. I'm real excited about DK Ruffin, who plays some edge for us, as well as some other guys. So good blend of experience and youth.
All right. What are your expectations for your squad this year?
I think my expectation is to go into this season and take this thing one game at a time. You never know what could happen on Friday Night Football. My expectation is for us to be the most, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess prepared team every Friday night. And I think if we come into each game, take it one at a time, and be the most prepared that we can be, I think good things are going to happen.
All right. And lastly, can you tell me your schedule for our listening audience?
I'd have to pull it up on Facebook for just a second, but I have it in my phone. Just give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and pull it up.
All right.
Sorry about that.
It's all good, Coach.
I got on the job in February, and so everything's been a little quick.
Place.
Yes, sir. All right, so we have week 1 against Berwick, and it's at Berwick. We have week 2 with Slaughter Charter at home. Then we have St. Edmunds week 3 at their place. We have Vanderbilt week 4 at their place. Then we have Assumption at home, followed by Edie White at their place, South Terrebonne. We're at South Lafourche. Second to last week of the season, we have Lutcher at home, and then we're following up and finishing up the season, or the regular season, I should say, with homecoming against Ellender.
All right. Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir.